Hello, my name is Bob Willis and welcome to Winnie TV, and we're here at SMTconnect. And we have the fortunate opportunity of talking to Francisco from KIC. Would you like to just introduce yourself and your position, and perhaps just a little bit about what interesting products that you're introducing at the show?
Okay. So I'm Francisco. I've been with KIC, working for KIC for 6 years now. So my position is field service engineer. So I'm more the technical side of KIC, but I think that somehow helps a little bit with sales and so on, because I think the customers are always interested in not to having only a sales perspective of things, but also a more technical perspective. Because like you were talking before, so I think customers are more interested in solving their issues than just to be solved anything. I think what is important is to really solve and give them a tailored solution for their problems, And I think this is what we are trying to do with KIC,
I totally agree with you. An application engineer is very valuable to a customer if they can't solve a problem. And KIC historically has made very good units, software which is fairly easy to use, fairly easy to understand. My last profiler was a KIC, although I had two other profilers before.
The question is, what is your profiler now?
Well, no, yeah. But specifically, we were talking about this new innovation about improving the monitoring of speed through the oven. Why do KIC feel that's important now?
So this is it's not something new for KIC. So this is what we call a smart reflow analyzer. So this is our SRA, okay? And mostly this is to be focusing more in the performance of the oven. Okay, so what we want to guarantee is that our ovens are repeatable and perform well over time. We have a reliable thing. So because if we know that my product is well built, if I know that my product is a good product, I just want to know that this machine that produces this product is reliable and repeatable over time. So what we do here, not only we look to the thermal performance of the oven itself, and we also look it and narrow down these possible issues by zone. We look also to the uniformity of the oven tunnel, of temperature in the oven tunnel, but we feel that the speed is also something very important during a thermal profile, because the speed can change, for example, the peak temperature that you have. So having a real measurement of the speed is something that we consider very important for the thermal profile.
When I started with reflow technology, yes, we could measure temperature through the oven on a board, and we had a thing called a stopwatch.
Yeah.
But obviously things move on. Is part of the reason that you've sort of invested in this type of technology to perhaps make in-process or in-machine monitoring redundant? Because obviously if we go back 5-10 years ago, it's very, very popular to put multiple probes in a reflow process, and that was part of the monitoring. Mm-hmm. Whereas this, you can put it in any time and make sure the results are exactly the same as they were the day before.
Yes and no. So because we feel that the monitoring that you are talking, mostly the RPI, what we have, the reflow process inspection, is something that is, like the name says, is focusing mostly on the process itself and not on the machine performance. Okay? So this is a tool that's focused on the machine performance. And what we see, based on the experience of our customers, is that they have the need to verify the machine performance in a weekly basis or even on a monthly basis. And they also have the needs of providing to their final customers reports, like CMK reports on this machine performance. So this will focus on that, on machine capability, and our RPI will focus mostly on the process itself. So using one does not invalidate to use the other one. Okay, so we continue to have customers that have RPI, but they have this one as well. And why is that? Because most of the times you can see that they have, in the past, they built their own pallets with the thermocouples attached to the pallets, and what they just wanted is exactly the same product doing this validation time over time or in a monthly basis.
So as an application engineer, have you had many customers ask you about doing profiling on robotic soldering?
On robotic soldering? Not so much, no.
No, I mean it's sort of a niche, okay. And it's growing in popularity. It's just that I've seen an increase in robotic soldering, and basically it's a soldering arm with a robot with a soldering arm. But still, customers want some sort of monitoring of the process. In the past, I've used an infrared camera, which has worked quite nicely, and measuring gas flow onto the tip, nitrogen flow onto the tip. But I think that obviously, if you're actually doing perhaps more scientific work as opposed to control work, because that would be very time-consuming to do. No, it was just an interesting, because obviously you're meeting the customers day in, day out.
No, I think maybe this is a possibility for KIC, for doing some kind of monitoring for such niche.
It's a possibility, or it's just something to write a technical article on, because nobody has written an article on doing that and how to do it. And yes, it's probably monitoring just 2 or 3 positions on a board. I mean, back in the days when we introduced lead-free technology, if you've got a connector which is, let's say, 20 terminations, I would put a thermocouple in one plated through hole, and then in number 10, and then number 20,
so that you never know what happens.
and see what the temperature differential was, which it's kind of neat. Well, thank you very much for taking your time. I know you're standing in for somebody else, but you did a fabulous job. Really, really.
I'm trying to fit some shoes, their shoes.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.